The 5K can be a great measure of where your running fitness is at. Once a low 18-minute runner, the days now found me, multiple months post-injury and weight gain, beginning to train once more. And after a while, I was getting back down towards the 20-minute 5K mark.
So close. 20:04 I had.
20:04.
Oh.
And then, finally, I broke back under 20 minutes with a 19:42.
Yeah! 2 years.
Once this hurdle was overcome, it was time to attack and start taking chunks out of it. This time was lowered again at Prestwold Hall 5K race, as I attempted to run a sub 19:30 and was very pleased to clock 19:14. With my running fitness drastically improving, I felt it was time to shoot for the next 5K barrier. Sub 19 minutes. I decided to look for a pacer for this attempt amongst you, the Jog On audience. Someone who could hold controlled 347 kilometers, and after some searching, I found him. Turning from a passion for rugby, Jog On crew member Charlie McCarthy began running just a couple of years back and quickly discovered a natural ability. And in 2021, ran a 5K in 17:12, a rapid time for someone so new to the running world. He also now makes his own running videos. You can find his YouTube channel at Charlie McCarthy. To me, he seemed like the perfect pacer for a Jog On sub 19 attempt. Hello, Harry here. Currently driving into central London to meet a man about a 5K. Jogging through Battersea Park with some strange Disney-like music in the background, I spotted the tall figure of Charlie McCarthy.
It's obviously quite wide, but there are gaps with the barriers. I'll go through it first. It's quite banked.
It is.
2.8k for one lap.
Charlie spoke to me about the big mistake he made when he was starting out.
And then within a month, I did the classic thing of going online and deciding I wanted to run sub 20 minutes in the 5k.
Yeah.
So just decided to go from 20k a week to 60.
Yeah.
And then within 3 weeks, I had runner's knee and was out for 4 months.
We headed out for a warm-up and strides, discussing running films and the pacing plan.
I like the fact you were trying to do something different with it.
At over 6 foot tall, it's uncommon for me to be the shorter runner, but Charlie McCarthy was built like a gazelle on a stepladder. It was time to begin. So we're here today in Battersea Park in London, and I've brought along Charlie McCarthy. And Charlie's going to pace me today to see if we can crack 19 minutes for 5K.
2, 1.
We were off. Immediately it became clear that this would be a run of dodging cyclists, prams, dog walkers and pedestrians. Glancing at our watches, the pace was reading suspiciously slower than what we felt we were doing. Showing us a 4-minute kilometre, we turned the speed on a bit more to try to change this. And then, disaster. The first kilometre registered as a 3:54, far too slow to run under 19 minutes. We'd need to work hard to get it back. With children swerving out of the way on 3-wheeled pedal carts, we pushed on in the afternoon heat. The second kilometre was a vast improvement.
Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger, I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. It's a bet. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat. Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger, I'm a threat.
Trying to keep it smooth, my legs were beginning to feel the pace. 2.5 kilometres arrived. Charlie was in favour of us cranking up the pace. Compared to the usual Jog On filmed runs, during this one I could only manage one-word answers due to the heat and the sheer effort I was putting in to try and hold onto this pace.
Less than a lap to go.
Yep.
The pace was going well.
3:44 right now, Aaron.
All I could say was,
Marvellous.
the third kilometre was,
3:43 again.
this gave me a boost to know we might just be able to claw it back from that first kilometre. Enough of a boost, in fact, to chase down a man in a grey t-shirt who, although it may not look like it on camera, was running at a pretty decent pace. Grimacing and hurting all over, I tried to stay on Charlie's heels.
Stay with it, stay with it.
We lost a little speed on the fourth kilometre with a 3:47, but the attempt was far from over. As we entered the final few hundred metres, Charlie began to shout out the distance left to go.
400. 300. Let's go.
Come on.
This was the final push, and it hurt.
I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. It's a bet. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat. I ain't never really wanna flex my ass, but I think it's my time. Let me check my wrist. You can never dim my shine, I'ma keep on grinding till I reach the top.
With the legs weak, I knelt on the floor.
18:54.
Way!
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. That was not easy.
With just 6 seconds to spare and some great pacing from Charlie, we'd done it.
It's so lonely as well. Just the two of you, just like plodding. Well, a bit quicker than plodding.
Shifting, mate.
Thanks, man.
Not gonna lie, did not think we had that after the first game.
No.
I know, I was worried. Yeah.
Power.
Go to pick it up. That hurt.
Covered in a sheen of sweat, we made our way back to where we'd begun our 5k attempt.
Without Charlie on the front, no doubt that would have been quite a bit slower. In the end, I found all the people, the dog walkers and the cyclists and the runners, almost a slight positive because it was just a mild distraction.
I was going to say, was it a nice distraction?
It sort of actually gave me something to think about, like, oh, Charlie's going that way. So
Something to keep your mind off the sheer velocity of the track. 12 laps of the track, it gets very dull.
what did you have in the end of the
18:55, 3:47 per k. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think we had it after the first kilometre.
We hit the first K,
And I thought, ooh.
there was a touch of worry in Charlie's voice.
Yeah.
He sort of said, we need to pick this up a bit.
Some of it was the GPS. We didn't speed up too much, not 10 seconds. I reckon you get a good GPS on that would be 18:45 or less, minus that first dodgy kilometre. Very good.
Perfect. So that was trying to break 19 minutes in Battersea Park in London with Charlie McCarthy. Charlie, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on, Eric.
I'm Harry Morgan, that's Charlie McCarthy, and this is Jog On. And I brought along the famous Charlie McCarthy. I'm not going to say famous. That sounds weird. We go, who? They immediately start Googling you. And then just pan across and there's people just go,